So weddings, I mean, they hold a special place in my heart. Like when Vicky and I got married, the craft coffee bars weren't really a thing. If we were married now, we'd have one for sure.
Yeah.
So it's like if it's that special to me, and someone is going to take the time to select us to participate in their wedding and be one of their vendors, like it's truly an honor and a privilege. And we take it it's just. Coffee is what we're passionate about, so the fact that they're passionate enough about it to order or to book our services and have us come out, it's really, really special. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Hi guys, if you heard episode 4 with my planner, you know about the insider info. The insider info is pretty much her approach for her to make our wedding very personalized. And one of the facts that I added is that I have a cup of coffee every single day. So having coffee at my wedding, it just makes sense. So I'm here to see my friend Vicky and Chris with Hive Coffee, and we're gonna just tour you around just so you can check them out. We're discovering all things wedding, from will you marry me to you may kiss the bride. I'm your host, Andrea. Welcome to the Bridal Club. Hi, how are you? Oh my gosh, so on trend. Look at that. Hi, how are you? Good. Can I have a matcha, please?
Yeah.
I am so excited to be here with y'all. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. So tell me more about you, Hive, and your love story.
So I'm Becky.
I am Chris.
We are married with 2 children and 2 dogs. And our love story started, we got married in September of 2008. And it was actually hurricane season. I didn't know this at the time, which I think is a good tip to know, brides, if you're researching what time of season you want, look at the weather, because we got married the week that Hurricane Ike hit.
Okay.
So we had this small, intimate ceremony scheduled for the Dallas Arboretum, and that got switched indoors. But all that to say, people say it's good luck when it rains on your wedding day.
Yeah.
We had tons of rain.
Really?
Tons
Well, no
of
wonder
rain.
why you are like 15 years in.
Yes, I say we're extremely lucky because we are celebrating our 15-year.
That is amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
15 years. I know, you look so young. So I love the fact that, and we spoke about this too, like you guys work together at events and weddings and stuff like that. What is it like? You and I spoke about this as well, like during COVID, that you spend a lot more time together, and you just genuinely said, I just love spending time with them. And I think that's just really sweet, especially after like 15 years of being with each other,
We agree that when you love what you do and do it with who you love, it's like there's nothing better.
Yeah.
And I know that's not for everybody, but like I could literally be with him 24/7, and we get to do the work part and we get to do the parent part, but we also get to do the friend part, which is really exciting.
Yeah, I
so
love that.
It stays fun. So.
Yeah, good. Chris, who are you? What are you doing? How did you meet?
We met at a nightclub.
Really?
Yeah, so we met at.
So don't believe what they say. You can meet the love of your dreams at a club.
We actually met at a nightclub, and.
We also had mutual friends, so I will kind of throw that in. So I kind of knew who he was beforehand. And I will admit, I made the first contact.
She made the first move. She asked me to dance, and I called her that night, or I messaged her that night, and it's just the rest is history. We've just been, super in love with her since forever. It feels like, man, gosh. So. Yeah, I enjoy working with her. I enjoy spending all the time that I get to with her and hitting up all the coffee shops and everything. So,
which is how
she's my
our dream started, with coffee.
Yeah, she's my coffee buddy for sure. So.
Oh, I love that. And I love, obviously, you have the bar that you made, and obviously we're going to show this to those watching on YouTube, but it looks so sleek. I'm so proud of you. Like the fact that you guys did it together, I think is super meaningful, and that's one of the reasons why I really wanted to invite you over on this episode. It's not only, like a coffee bar, it's like the family behind it and the message behind Hive. So tell me more about your passion. I know you're super passionate. I mean, you can see whenever you're preparing, first of all, Vicky had mentioned that sometimes you don't even want to have some help because you are the one who needs to make the coffee. So tell me more about that passion.
Yeah, my passion for coffee and serving others, it started a long time ago. Like I can vividly remember going into like my first craft coffee shop, and like that entire experience, like the moment I stepped into the doors, and like the smell, the aroma, just like seeing the baristas behind the bar, and just the process, how it was slow, and it was craft, and it wasn't rushed, and just all of that. So hearing the steam wand, just all of it, like the entire thing, and then they call your name out, you go and you get your cup, it's got the beautiful latte art in it, so it's like it hits all of your senses, like visually, like you can smell it, and then when you sip it, you get that taste, and you hit your tongue, and you're just like, whoa. So that's where it all started for me, and I wondered, like, why doesn't my coffee taste like this at home? So
that's
you've had that.
So then
always, I'm like, dang, that's why, and sorry to interrupt you, that's why I go to get a Starbucks every morning, or, well, I kind of like recently changed that, but because I not only want a cup of coffee, mine tastes like socks, by the way. Like dirty socks. I've never tried dirty socks, by the way. But anyways, it's about being like served, and we spoke about this, but carry on, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so so that sent me down a rabbit hole where it was just like, okay, I gotta learn more. Like how do I improve my cup at home? So then, you're just going every which way, just trying to learn more and learn more. And that's what I find myself doing, where it's just like, okay, well now I know more, and I wanna share that experience that I felt when I first had my craft experience, like with everyone else. So
I love that. Oh my gosh, so passionate. Yeah, I love it, and truly it shows. You guys were at our Christmas party at DBANDREA, and everybody loved having you there. I mean, how lucky are you, by the way?
It was so nice too, because I remember Amy, and I'm not sure who else, was like, I don't drink coffee, and I'm like, this isn't regular coffee. So it's finding something that they enjoy, because I think sometimes espresso menu can look intimidating.
Yes.
So when you have somebody like Chris, which is one thing we're really passionate about, is like not letting it be a pretentious thing, but something where you're welcoming somebody in, and breaking down the menu for them, because even though coffee is so trending and such a largely consumed beverage, there's still a lot of people that have never really experienced a craft cup of coffee.
And I want to say something too. I mean, even to this day, even though I have had a cup of coffee every day for years, I don't know the difference between like cortado and like cappuccino, like
and we see that a lot, like and those are the moments where it's like, oh, okay, you kind of get excited, because like, okay, they don't know what the difference is between a cortado and a cappuccino or an Americano. So then you kind of get to help them navigate that process of like figuring out, what do I like, what do I really like.
That's why this morning when you were like, what do you want, I'm like, surprise me. I don't know what
But that's cool too, because when you hire Hive Coffee, you get, depending on what kind of package you get, usually our standard is 2 hours, but in that 2 hours you get unlimited coffee. So let's say Ryan comes up to the bar and he's not sure what he'd like, and he orders a latte, and maybe that's too much on the sweet side, or maybe it has too much milk. Then he can have the opportunity to try something different. And so it's a treat for your guests to be able to like have that experience and try multiple things, and then ultimately find out what they like, and then go into a craft coffee shop and be like confident, oh, I want a cappuccino.
It feels so silly, staring at the menu. I'm like, when I don't go to Starbucks, right? Staring at the menu, I'm like, I don't know. So that's awesome. I like that you said that. So what does it mean for you to do weddings? And I mean, obviously you guys do a lot of events as well, but weddings, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, so weddings, I mean, they hold a special place in my heart. Like when Vicky and I got married, the craft coffee bars weren't really a thing. If we were married now, we'd have one for sure. So it's like, if it's that special to me, and someone is going to take the time to select us to participate in their wedding, to be one of their vendors, like it's truly an honor and a privilege, and we take it like, I mean, it's just, coffee is what we're passionate about, so the fact that they're passionate enough about it to order or to book our services and have us come out, like it's really, really special. So
that's awesome.
We
spoke about earlier in the intro about what I think when I think of you guys, and I was on your website last night, and I hadn't been there in a couple months, to be honest, but I was able to read like your description to see if I could gather like some questions and so on, and the paragraph where you say like pouring into others, I'm like, that is exactly what I think of you, and the fact that people think that with like from meeting you, like even meeting once. I think that's so special. Tell me more about the pouring into others and what that means to you, and really like the encouraging words that you obviously stand behind and you've always done.
So pouring into others is one of our core values in our business. And it's a little different to do it now versus ultimately we would like to have a coffee house one day. But we just believe that pouring into others means filling their cup with more than just coffee.
Yeah.
And so the world is just rough. It's sad some days. We go through hard moments, and I feel like a little encouragement and a little coffee, like what's better? You know what I mean? Like people need things to keep them going. And so I just feel like our passions for people and our passion for coffee, it's like it combined and it's making a baby. And like that's our way to like give back to the world.
Yeah. Agree. 100%. I couldn't have said it better. So.
Yeah, I love that. And I love that whenever I come, I mean, obviously as a business owner, we go through a lot.
Yes.
And you know, because I mean, first you're my friend, right? And then we're co-workers, but I come talk to you and you listen, and I always feel better after talking to you. And the things that you have to say and the different perspective for everything, I mean, it's just out of this world, really. So Mia, if you're watching this or you're listening, I hope that you know how lucky you are to have them as parents.
Thank you.
Truly, yeah.
And I think that's an interesting thing too of being a married couple that also works together and owns a business, is that I once heard somebody say that God will not allow you both to be down at the same time.
Yeah.
And I think that's so true, because looking back on our journey, we've had hardships. We've had people not pay us. We've had, you know, things go missing or
stolen trailer. Just like, ups and downs.
Yeah.
So many things. And so literally, like, if he was down, I was the one to pick him up. And if I was the one down, he was the one to pick me up. So we've never been both down at the same time. And I think that's been helpful because we know each other so well, and we obviously are in it, blood, sweat, and tears. So there's like no turning back at this point.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me more about what kind of coffees you craft. Obviously, we spoke about cortado, cappuccino, and whatever else.
So we offer a full service espresso bar menu. So from the just espresso to Americano, latte, flavored latte. We offer all of those beverages. We also, for the non-coffee drinkers, we offer matcha tea latte, and then we also offer chai tea latte or a hot chocolate. So, so we can cater the drinks to his and hers, all of our syrups, house made. So that's kind of what the menu primarily looks like.
Tell me more about the events that you do. Obviously, we spoke about weddings. You're going to be at my wedding, but tell me more about everything.
Yeah, so with our weddings, I mean, we do all shapes, sizes, everything. So from a first birthday party to a 50th birthday party, or corporate events. We do pretty much anything. I mean, if you have an event and you want a mobile espresso bar to come out, so your event plus coffee, we can come out and serve your guests.
We've also had, we've also had hospitals reach out. So like during Nurses Week or just during COVID, they would treat their staff to coffee.
Employee appreciation.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said treat because it truly is a treat, so that's awesome. You wanted to talk about something specific for my wedding, something which you kind of like share a little bit, but I had no idea because you're working directly with my planner. So tell us more about that.
So
we're actually going to be using a custom bar that Social Llama's building for you. So we're excited about that. That's going to be nice. But we're also going to instead of using the paper cups you see here, we're going to be using ceramic mugs. So that's super exciting. Just definitely like a way to elevate the experience. So,
Fun.
I know, so fancy.
I know, you said that.
And
also.
it just goes back to why having a planner is so important, because those are maybe details that we don't think about, but it's those details that really elevate and really make the whole experience.
And the fact that I didn't know about it, that is even cooler.
I know, I hate that I spilled the beans.
No, oh my gosh, no, there's so many details that I won't. I mean, obviously I know how the wedding's gonna go in like the most bigger details kind of thing, because I've been involved, but I don't know all the specifics.
Yeah.
I mean, even from like crafting the menu to match your desserts, your cake wise or desserts.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's something that you do too. Tell me more about that.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've had where a bride, let's say her drink is an oat vanilla latte, and her groom enjoys an Americano. So it's really cool because when the guests come, they can order the bride's drink, or they can order the groom's drink, or we also allow them to pick up to 3 different flavors. So they're not limited to standard ones.
Yeah.
We have seasonal flavors and things like that. So it makes it fun too, because you get to be part of that process of picking what type of flavors you want.
Yours will have a his and a hers to match your dessert or your chocolate selection, and then
Really?
same for
Oh my god!
So I'm gonna order the Andrea.
Don't tell me what it is. I don't even know what it is. How fun.
yeah.
I mean, obviously we had a conversation with Maisie and she was asking questions, but she didn't actually like spill the beans, probably, so I can be surprised too. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So how?
We spilled
No.
the coffee beans.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, very clever. So where do you serve? And then tell me more about the Hive dream. Like, what is your dream, like your goals and all of that?
So we currently serve the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, so anywhere around the surrounding areas. Our ultimate dream is to open up a coffee house. And so I don't think we spoke about it, but when we had the dream for Hive, we wanted to open up a coffee house because we were going to all these coffee shops and kind of picking them apart and saying the best coffee shop would have this, and this. But
it's like taking our favorite things from the shops we've experienced and like merging them into one shop of just all of our favorite stuff. So,
but at the time, it just seemed so overwhelming. Like, how do you open up a coffee shop? We didn't know. So Chris on his Instagram was following a couple of mobile coffee vendors that had just started out like in Portland. And so he's like, well, maybe we can start there. And I was like, okay. So we researched what we needed to do. We bought an espresso machine, and then we went to go get a quote for a custom bar. And it was thousands of dollars, surprisingly. And so we felt really defeated, but then I don't know whose idea it was, but maybe yours, where you're like, maybe I can build my own. And that's literally how it happened. What's even more funny about that is that I signed him up for a pop-up event, giving him only 1 week to get it done. So he literally slept in our garage while
I fell asleep on the garage floor just to catch some nap time while the stain was drying.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So you were kind of like the one that pushed.
I pushed him, but then at the same time, I would go and open the door and I'd see this big old mess, and I was like, do you know what you're doing? And he would look at me with like, woman, you're the one that signed me up for this. But he's like, yes. And I mean, I don't know how confident he was at the time, but like literally by that Friday, which was his deadline, he had this whole bar done with plumbing. And that's when we found a hidden talent of carpentry.
Yeah, it's funny. Looking back, I definitely shocked myself. I didn't know I had that in me.
Yeah, but I think that's also the cool thing, that when your back is up against the wall, you don't know what you have in store. And so sometimes that's where those strengths come out. When we decided to kind of change the bar and rebrand, it was he was going to do it. And I think we take pride in that, knowing like it's handcrafted bar, but also we want to make sure we have a design that isn't something that you can find somewhere else, because the mobile bar industry has become a little bit saturated, but that's great because like everybody loves coffee, and it's an opportunity for more people to get served coffee, but they all in my opinion, start looking a little bit too much alike. And so I like that we are set apart in that aspect, and that it is unique and one of a kind. Like there's no other one. Yeah, there's no other one like that. So
well, it's very sleek. Obviously, I love it. Their new branding is black on black, and I love it. The reason why I wanted to do this also, obviously, we're serving brides across the country, and you, as of now, only serve the DFW. That to say, though, your message needs to be followed. You know, like what you have to tell people your encouraging words and all of that, I do believe that anyone, regardless of where they are in the world, should follow you. So how can people connect with you?
Yeah, so we're on all social media platforms, from Instagram to TikTok at Hive Coffee Co. Our website is hivecoffeeco.com.
Yes.
And even if you aren't local to Dallas, I mean, we do have a message to share, but also we also know a lot of mobile coffee bars that around the USA
Yeah.
that we are friends with.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
if you need a recommendation, we'd love to share that with you. Because there is a hub of mobile coffee vendors, which is really cool because we all get to learn from each other and share advice and things like that.
Like, they're just great people.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here.
Learn about all things wedding straight from the experts. Be sure to like and subscribe to Bridal Club.